Hello, and welcome to Archvelder's Hacks with Archvelder and his amazing hacks. This video is about the most mysterious ore in WoW, Khorium. Khorium is literally the rarest metal in the game. Individual ores can sell for thousands of gold, significantly more than any other. What makes Khorium so rare and precious? The explanation is that it is essential for a range of desirable items, especially for the engineering profession, but it is very difficult to find. The reason being that it doesn't actually spawn in its own right. It only occasionally appears to take the place of what would normally be an adamantite, rich adamantite, or fell iron vein. The gold farming forums are filled with horror stories about people farming for literally hours for this incredibly rare ore without finding a single node. I realised if I could find a more efficient way of locating Khorium, a lot of people would potentially be interested. First, you'll want to go to Orkin Dune and the Dungeon Sethek Halls. Now, this is unique in that there is always an adamantite node within a short distance of the entrance, and very occasionally that will be a Khorium node. The beauty of this is that as soon as you see that node, then if it's Khorium, go and farm it. If it's not, just leave the instance and reset it, as I'm showing you here. This method is much quicker than farming Khorium in world, and has no possibility of anyone taking a Khorium node that just spawned while you were elsewhere on your farming route. The profit per minute invested using this method is very high. The downside, of course, is that you can only do this until you hit instance lockouts. I get about one Khorium node per 15 runs doing this, so it's quite common to hit lockout without seeing a single Khorium node. This is something of a slot machine. It's perfect for people who want to do something for a few minutes and make a couple of thousand gold. When a vein actually spawns. Every time you get a node, you'll get around 2 Khorium ores worth of nuggets. Also bear in mind the modes of fire and earth you get are worth something. Also look out for golden dranite, which still fetches around 400 gold on the auction house since it is an essential ingredient for the tailor's flying carpet. Now you can reset the instance by clicking manually on your portrait in the top left. However, it's slightly faster if you use this macro and bind. Naturally, the faster your character, the more effective this farm will be. Trying this out on my Demon Hunter, I managed to complete 10 instances in just over 2 minutes. This macro will allow you to target your cursor's location with your Infernal Strike and speed up the process. Now, there are other techniques. One very simple but also very powerful strategy is to use multiple class trial characters and park those characters near a cluster of ore spawns on a dead realm, such as this location in Netherstorm, where you can view 3 nodes from this position. You can then form a group using custom group finder if you find any Khorium, and join that group with your mining character. You can check these locations periodically for Khorium every so often, as the nodes will be farmed over time. It takes only seconds to log in and scan the ores. There are many locations like this, such as this cave south of Raven's Wood in Blade's Edge Mountains, which has 2 fast respawning nodes in close proximity to each other. Finally, there's some interesting opportunities on the Isle of Caldenas. There are only 17 ore nodes on the island, and I'll provide a link to every possible node in the description below. The trick here is based on the fact that Caldenas is a no-fly zone, and the density of Khorium reflects that. Now, there are several items which increase your speed, which work very well on Caldenas. These items are the Fell Meteor, that's best used with a Goblin Glider, the cracked Radanax Control Gem, and the engineering item Gun Shoes. All of these items can be bought off the auction house. If you can find or manufacture them reasonably cheaply, then the time savings and the increased amount of Khorium per unit of time invested justifies their acquisition. Now, there's another trick you can use here. If you move clockwise around the island, then you'll have to come back via the southwest coast. Now, there's no Khorium there, so it's a massive time sink if you farm it in the conventional manner. So here's a trick to get back to the central hub of the island in the north instantly. Get level 1 cooking, which allows you to put down a campfire, and use some pinch whistle nitro fuel, which is a drink most easily acquired from your faction's innkeeper in Ashram. Now your character will catch fire and die, and this will take you straight back to the graveyard in the north. You might want to create a naked set for removing your gear to avoid repair costs. This trick is a huge time saver, and it has many applications beyond the scope of this video. Now, you'll find the methods in this video give you a decent amount of ore for relatively little effort, and that's quite deliberate, as this way you won't be putting too much pressure on the demand for Khorium. I use these methods myself. They are fun and profitable. If you want to take this even further, however, there is a much more powerful method based on the use of remote viewing techniques. Unfortunately, I couldn't publish that method without crushing the price of Khorium or getting the method nerfed by Blizzard. So unfortunately, that's going to remain on my super secret Patreon feed for now. So there's the video. If you liked it, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. This has been Archvelder.